So having had that family experience, what would you say to, getting younger ringers involved into handbell ringing? What was your opinion of, encouraging people?
I think it varies so much on the environment and the people. I'm not sure that you can generalise.
No.
I know there's a big movement to get handbells back into schools.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of schools taking part in crescendo and things like that, which is great.
Yeah.
But then there's this gap. Then handbells becomes not cool anymore, and so it's you lose the youngsters when they get to about 11, 12 generally, unless they really got hooked into it.
I had a great time doing handbells at the local primary school here.
Okay.
It started well, where it was an hour after school.
Right.
And then the difficulty was that those that bus in can't get home.
Yeah.
And I don't drive, so I couldn't give anyone a lift anyway.
Yeah.
Then we went to half an hour of school time, so they missed whatever it was for the last half an hour. Sometimes it was assembly, which I'm not too happy about them missing assembly, and did another half hour afterwards, so we still got the hour.
Yeah.
But that disrupts their concentration, because as soon as they hear the others getting their coats and going off, they don't concentrate anymore. And then after that we did during the lunch hour, and the ones that were in the bell team could have early lunch, but it's not that straightforward for the teachers or whoever to organise them, so that wasn't so easy. And what I did do was, I thought the school would be quite particular about how they learned to read music, so I did it from staff notation. So that requires a little bit more concentration, whereas I hadn't realised that I could have just done it from numbers, just like you can do when we go to care homes.
Yes, okay.
Because it's quicker for the brain to pick up numbers or shapes or colours or whatever. And I didn't realise I could have done it like that as well. But I mean, it was good fun while it lasted. You've got to get away from this ding-donging thing. You've got to get away from bells being only Christmas time.
Yes.
We only get them out at Christmas.
Yes. How about the crescendo scheme? How did you get the idea for...
Well, that was you.
Yes. The church bell scheme.
Yes.
Yeah, they had a little book, and it gave them all little tasks, they had to achieve, and so on, a sticker or something to go on.
Okay.
So pretty much we just adapted that into something that fitted in with handbells, and it worked quite well.
Totally brilliant.
Yes.
I think.
And it's suitable for adults as well as children, which is the brilliant thing. Okay. Well, so the leader has to actually encourage the person who's following the scheme, and
And when you think that the scheme involves, do you know what your bell is? Can you set it up? Can you set them out properly? Can you put them away properly? Can you handle them properly? There's so many basic housekeeping type challenges or things that are there that adults, children, and people with special learning needs. There's a lot of basic stuff before you get into the can you actually ring it, but then there are that can you ring it loudly, softly, whatever. There are some superb challenges in there, I think. But I think the leader has to take an interest and also spend a little bit of time not ringing to supervise which challenges you're going to do, or have you achieved that yet, and all that But I found it interesting when I did it with the school. But it does take that little bit of extra time away from the actual ringing of a tune to make sure that they've got the idea and that they've achieved their challenge.
So would you have the whole group working on one section at a time, or would it be more one-to-one?
I think that's a nice idea, but a lot of times you've got children that aren't interested in that bit. They just want to ring the tune, or they just want to be with their friend. There are so many reasons why children ring handbells.
I mean, it has grown. I mean, we're just doing the recent reverberations, and we've got an FF award from the Crescendo scheme, which we've been talking about. So do we get many of those?
Very few.
Okay.
Yeah, fingers of one hand.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wow.
It's you have to do quite a lot and be quite committed to get that far. We got 4 levels.
Yeah.
So once they've done, you run out of simple things.
Yes.
Then you end up with things like, attending an international symposium, or writing a piece of music, or learning how to set music on a computer, those sort of things, which are quite advanced. So very few people get to the end.
And that's quite good in socialising skills as well, isn't it? To be able to, actually attend big events like that and get a certificate for doing so.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the difficulties is that if you get an experienced team, and then you get a couple of people, elderly, who find they can't do it anymore and drop out, you then got to try and recruit people to go into their space. And that sets the whole team back. Because they're
a new team again.
They're a new team again. You're only as good as your worst ringer.
Which is an important thing to understand, because handbell ringing is such a team building experience.
I would like to see it introduced more at a slightly older age. We had a couple of girls with us doing their Duke of Edinburgh Award.
Oh, right.
And they were able to do handbells for that. In fact, Robert did his Duke of Edinburgh.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Part of it, Scouts, guides have got.
They have a badge. They can work through a musician's badge, don't they?
Yeah, or community badge, whatever it is. So it'd be nice to push that side a little bit.
There's a lot of commitment involved for parents, and when there's more than one child, and if they're not all doing the same activity, I sympathise there with the parents, because it is hard for them.
So what do you think the best thing a team can do to ring together is?
Listen,
okay.
To each other as well.
Too often they stand there with their eyes fixed on the book, trying to get their note in the right place, but there's no sense of
what's around the room.
them.
Because I find that something suddenly clicks when that kicks in.
That's right. That's when the hairs on the back of the neck start standing up, and you think, that sounds good.
And you think, I can hear the G over there while I'm ringing my G, and I can ring the G in the bass one, and then it starts to get easier because you're listening properly, whereas your focus is so absorbed into your notes. Okay, and that goes back to what we were saying about building a team from scratch.
In many ways, it's easier to build a team from scratch than it is to keep one going as people leave and new people come in, but don't always have the opportunity to do that.
No.
One of the big things that keeps us occupied is HRGB sales. We took that over from a lady called Maureen Grice in East Anglia. Robert was going to go away to university.
Yes.
And Jane and I were conscious that we therefore couldn't carry on with the tour bells practices and so forth, and we wanted something to stay involved with the organisation, rather than just turn up as a couple of odd bods. And advertising reverberations for a sales manager. And so we took it on. I think we'd already been doing Southwest sales for a bit.
Yes, that's true.
And also the Southwest newsletter. I took on from Richard Page. That's sort of grown over the years as we've developed the various lines. We go out looking for things that will be attractive
Yeah.
to ringers.
Yeah.
We sell an awful lot of gloves,
Yes.
and 3-hole punches,
Yes.
and you know, all the little bits. And then when Mayola
Yes.
closed out, or Nigel Bullen wanted to retire, he asked us if we'd take on the Mayola music.
Yeah.
And that's a whole new raft of stuff, because not only do we have to look after the stock, but we have to get it printed and published.
Yeah.
And new books come along from composers and arrangers. We have to clear the copyright.
Yeah.
We have to pay their royalties twice a year to each of the arrangers and so forth.
Okay.
So there's an awful lot involved in that side of it as well.
Okay.
And that keeps us off the streets a bit.
Stock check is nice. Straight
check
after Christmas, counting every item.
1st of January, stock check.
It's a very nice way of getting to know people, though. If you get yourself a job on committee or in handbells somehow or other, and you go to events and you meet all these new people, and they come to you and ask you questions because, go and ask her, so you become that person, or go and ask him, you become that person, and then you have just connections all over the country, which is lovely.
But it's less about the ringing, because when we go to national rallies as sales, we don't get to ring.
No.
Generally.
No.
We
We're
just
on the
meet.
table. We're
You
just
meet all
meeting
these
people.
names, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
It really is nice.
So when you look back at what you've actually done, you know, you've set up a family team, a community team, a regional team. You've been editor of Reverberations until recently, the national magazine, the Southwest magazine you're still editor of, and you've been doing for years. You've been teaching in schools. You've set up the Crescendo scheme, running the sales, which we've been talking about, in working on the website with Robert.
Yeah, and Jane's the Southwest treasurer.
Yes. So look at all that work. It's incredible.
It is. When you say it like that, it does seem an awful lot, and I can't imagine why we were daft enough to do it. Probably because nobody else would. That's what it boils down to.
But it doesn't feel like that, does it? Because it just means that every day there is more to do, and it escalates. But that's fine, because it's not as if it's a brand new thing to learn. It's something that's developing all the time.
It evolves.
Yes, it evolves. So there you are, evolution. No problem. But I didn't like that, sitting there listening to you list everything, because that's really quite exhausting. Quite tiring. That's quite harrowing. I don't like, and we don't look back. That's why we've got no specific years to say to you, we did this then and this and this then, and I can't do it because that's gone.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward all the time.
To the next holiday. We have a wonderful planning system, as you all know. We have a roll of wallpaper on the wall, all ruled up with days of the week, and that is the Bible. If it's not on the wallpaper, it doesn't happen.
And that's right, actually, because if the kids want us for anything, write it on the calendar.
Yes.
Write it on the wallpaper, and then I know what we can fit in around it.
Yes.
And that's good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed for telling us all about your handbell ringing. We will see if we can put this into an article and have some of your photos as well.
Good luck with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.